us your name and a little bit about yourself?
Dr. Stephen Greer. I'm a brain surgeon, medical doctor, rocket scientist, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Iron Man. Well, then there was this time where I was transported to another planet where I remotely controlled these humanoid bodies that were about 12 feet tall and blue. I ended up protecting all the indigenous people from the evil humans, and they called me Torok Moktau, and I eventually became one of them. Back when I worked at the SETI Institute, we did receive a signal. My partner, Jodie Foster, and I listened to it intently, and we deciphered the code and built a giant machine which allowed us to travel to the aliens' homeworld, where I saw my father, and he gave me good advice. And well, you don't need to believe me. You just have to ask CIA Director Mike Pompeo, who in fact took this picture with me that was declassified. They reclassified it and asked me to declassify it. I told them the CIA did ask me to debrief President Trump. I did. I debriefed them, and then I debriefed President Trump, and I declassified debriefing. Well, before I started Unacknowledged and the Disclosure Project, I had found a chunk of amber with a mosquito inside, where I had taken DNA, cloned dinosaurs. I brought them back. It was definitely known that the aliens were pissed about this. They didn't want me bringing back dinosaurs, so I had to classify that again. Let's just say the Anunnaki were pissed. Nibiru is flat. I almost exploded out of my NASA shirt, which is why I had to put this one on. I know it's really tight because I'm so incredibly buff, but you know, this is what the producers gave me. So this is what I had to work with. Now, I was doing bench presses before I got here. That's why I'm swollen like this. I had 2 steaks, swam a mile, I fought a bear. I did give the president some briefings on UFOs. He didn't read them, obviously. Well, a friend of mine I gave some UFO files to, and he went to the Saudi Arabian consulate, and I haven't heard from him since. Hopefully everything's okay. Trump assures me that my friend is fine and that the papers will be released as soon as he is. They're not sure where he is right now. I guess he's hiding somewhere in the walls of the embassy. We don't know. But I'm sure he's still there with these documents. And when he's found, it will be exposed to the world that UFOs are real. Thanks to me and my friend in the consulate, who's still there, hidden in the walls. Back when I was a moisture farmer on the planet of Tatooine, I had to battle a fierce opponent who had a laser sword, could hack men apart. Luckily, I used my telekinetic powers to destroy this guy and bring hope back to the galaxy. One time I was having dinner with my family when I started to make a little model of the Devil's Tower out of mashed potatoes, and I knew that if I went there that I would board the mothership. That's when I declassified the papers on Project Serpico, where I traveled to the moons of Vega, where again I met my father, who was, as we all know, disappointed. I used to work at Area 51, but back then it wasn't called Area 51. It was called Heinz 57. Last year I developed a rocket that could land by itself. I invented a battery-operated car, which I called Tesla. Help create PayPal. I'm going to help create the Hyperloop. I was researching the documents when all of a sudden Rick James walked up to me and punched me in the forehead, had his ring on it, said Unity, and it was imprinted in my forehead. He said, "I'm Rick James, bitch." That was when I worked at Cheyenne Mountain Complex at NORAD. My grandmother discovered a Stargate in Egypt, which I traveled through and found an indigenous population on the planet building pyramids and worshiping an alien god. I defeated Ra, and then I came back and made a awesome series about it. Battling frost giants was very difficult. Being a prince of Asgard was not hard because, you know, of my incredible strength. I flew around the giants and hit them with my hammer, destroying them instantly. I also helped destroy the Bifrost and Odin's Raven. The doll came back to life with the spirit of a murderer inside of it, tried to kill me. The ship started sinking. I said, "Hold your breath, Rose. It's going to pull us under." From Pluto to Uranus, we're underground famous for doom and 808 bass booms in your face. That's when I took it upon myself to purchase every single Jew. And I made sure that any bomb that I worked on would not work. So the Nazis were definitely going to lose. That's when I recovered the Ark of the Covenant. I knew that the only way to protect myself was to close my eyes and not look at the face of God. It was really sad. It was really hard for me. I had to bury both my dogs, and I was blessed to see the next year there were 2 red ferns. Well, it was Tuesday, so I got to go hang out with Maury. There was a sudden flash of light when our 2 wands met. And we battled. But I forced the Dark Wizard down, and he exploded into fucking dust. So I said to him, "I will find you, and I will kill you." And he said, "Good luck." Yeah, I had the goal to say, "Good luck." Boy, did I kick his... I'll burn the Eiffel Tower to the ground if I have to!